Anaerobic, we're using less oxygen, we're producing more byproduct, we're increasing the risk of injury, cramp, fatigue, overtraining. But objectively, you're missing the point. Most people build houses on broken foundations, and that's why they don't achieve the times that they try to achieve week in, week out, month out, year on, year out. I have the conversation every day. Had a guy last week in with me, and he says all his long runs are done at 4:07, 4:08 pace. He wants to run a sub 3 hour marathon but can never do it. Why is he running so fast on his long run? If he wants to break 3 hours, he needs to run 4:17. His aerobic capacity isn't built. So he's constantly training anaerobically. So the quality of his training is really, really poor. He doesn't know this because it's all he knows. When we train aerobically and anaerobically, it's all about facilitating the next session. It's about delivering a great performance tomorrow. So like today or tomorrow for me is going to be a recovery run, probably a bad week to give you the example this week because of the half marathon. But I'll roll in and out of my week. I'll have a tough session, I'll have an easy session, I'll have an easy session that will lead into a tough session. If all the sessions you're doing are greater than 5 out of 10 on an RPE scale, there's a very good chance you're overtrained. But ego, social media, David Goggins, and the likes of the pressure that's put on people to overtrain all the time is causing so many of these issues where people don't get better. Train easy to train hard. Build your foundation before you put the bricks on. You want a big pyramid, you need a wide base. Whatever analogy you want to use. But if you go out to run aerobically and run anaerobically, the next session you do and everything you're trying to do is being miscalculated and you're not achieving what you're trying to achieve with that session that you've just put down.
Someone goes into you West Park Fitness and does the VO2 max testing. I've seen you have them on a gradient treadmill and you're pushing them through. How much actual coaching is involved to keep them going to where you want at a certain heart rate? Do you find sometimes someone mentally gives up easy, and does that affect results? Or is it just like you need to push to get like talk me through that?
Yes. Look, I have a very good handle on people's now nerves and understanding what their feedback is. And if someone doesn't want to talk and they're real nervous, I can kind of step off and I won't talk to them. Or if somebody needs more coaching, I will talk to them. But let's be really, really clear here. You're coming in, you're getting on a treadmill, and for 90% of the test, you're very comfortable. Realistically, the only discomfort is that you've this mask on your face. In terms of the ability to perform and run on a treadmill, most people can do it, unquestionable. But when we start to get up to the higher end things, you're fully anaerobic, you're producing byproduct, you're ventilating out, the mask is getting really, really warm. And that's when people start to psychologically think, I can't do this. So when I start to know, they'll start to move. I'll know all this anyway because I'm looking at the data on the screen. But they'll start to hit the treadmill heavier. You'll hear their feet hitting it more. They'll start looking around more. They'll be pointing. We have an RPE scale on the center of our treadmills. They'll be pointing to them. I'll be asking them, are they okay? And when they start to tell me they're up at that 8 and 9 and they're going to want to stop, I'm like, right, give me another 15, 20 seconds. There's times on the screen. I'm like, right, let's finish the minute. We've just gone 14 minutes, 15 seconds in. I say, right, I need you to get to 15 minutes. But also, if the data has plateaued, my level of encouragement and my statements and my wording is different.
Right.
So I know if the data is in, I'll start to talk to the customer more about where the stop button is, how we can get off the treadmill safely. I'll reassure them that their heart rate is okay. And if they keep pushing, I will start to make statements that, look, we've reached the point of diminishing returns here. We need to get you off this treadmill safely. We're not going to gain anything in pushing you on. So it is very, very important for us as testers to be able to read people, but be able to read the data during the test. And everybody's going to have a different starting point. Everybody's going to have a different finishing point, but everybody's going to get the same set of results in terms of individual interpretation of human physiology specific to them.
You say data multiple. You don't just go in and get a VO2 max test. We're not just getting a number like we've already said, a Garmin's a random number off nothing, but you're not just getting VO2 max tests. You're getting more.